Turning to some lighter news, he's been making audiences laugh for years with his unique brand of Jewish humor. And now comedian Modi is back in Israel for the first time since October 7th. And we're happy to have him in studio. But before we talk, we're going to take a look at one of his jokes from his recent show, Know Your Audience.
Cancel culture is anti-Semitic. You say anything about Latinos, Asian, black, trans, gay, you're done, you're finished. There's no second chance. When someone says something bad against Jews, the worst that can happen is they make them visit a Holocaust museum. Which is the stupidest idea in the world. You're taking someone who hates Jews into a Holocaust museum. They come out of there, wow! That was amazing! I want a t-shirt, a hat, something! They're onto something! Help me out here!
And we're happy to have Modi in the studio. Welcome back.
Thank you very much for having me.
So, first of all, it's funny just hearing this, that you know, how much has actually changed, right? It's like, you know, the cancel culture, now we're being canceled.
Completely. The world is, since I was last in Israel, the world has completely changed. I was here 9/11. I was here October 7th.
I know, because we were just talking about that.
I was here October 7th, right when the war began on that day, and we left from Israel to Paris because I had shows in Paris. I was performing on the Monday after the Saturday when the war began.
Wow, it's just insane to think. So you were literally on a plane on October 7th?
We were on the tarmac. I was there. My husband was freaking out. We heard the sirens. We were on the tarmac. There's a 4-hour delay, but it was an Air France flight that we were scheduled to go on. And then we did the shows. And since every show, since October 7th, I've been singing Hatikva at the end of the shows.
Which is really incredible. And I wanted to ask you about that. But first, we want to actually play a clip because you were on October 4th,
yes,
doing a show with our Kalev Ben David, who has the show Jewish World Weekly, and it's obviously the interview didn't air, but you had some very interesting insights. So now we're going to give it the opportunity to be broadcast. So let's take a listen.
Okay.
It was unbelievable. First of all, it's Berlin. It's the OG of anti-Semitism. That's where it began. And, you know, there were no Nazi flags anywhere, but there were banners of the Jewish Cultural Festival with my face on it everywhere. And one thing I've noticed now is that the Jews in Europe are just in shock to see a comedian on stage screaming that he's Jewish. Screaming, yes, we do control the media, yes, we do control the money, and we have fun with it. And they love it. They can't get France, insane. All the shows sold out immediately. Jews love to see somebody yelling and being proud to be Jewish.
All right, that's also just so it gives you goosebumps to think that that was recorded just a few days before October 7th. So is that still the case? I mean, what has your experience been in Europe, given that the world is completely against us and doing whatever they can to make our lives miserable?
Since the war began, I've performed in Düsseldorf, Frankfurt, Vienna, Amsterdam, Paris. I call it the reparations tour. We've been, and people just, they need it. I can't explain to you, they need to laugh. You have to laugh. My new tour is called Pause for Laughter.
Wow,
where
so
you
important.
You have to, otherwise you're going to be sick. You got to take a pause, have some laughs, share some clips. You know, I told the soldiers, I had an interview with Galgalatz. I said, guys, when you're on your time off, tell jokes to each other.
Yeah, it is the best release of a big inflated balloon. Now, also, you were here, you were at an event at the Ani Museum of the Jewish People, which they have an amazing humor exhibition. And, you know, now here you are, part of it, along with Seinfeld and all these other greats. So it must at least be thrilling also to get that recognition.
So honored to be in the Ani Museum in their comedy category. First of all, how genius it is that they have a part of Jewish history is comedy. That's how important it is to the Jewish people. And to be a part of it, to be a part of the exhibition, wow, it's such an honor, and it's a calling. Being a comedian is a calling.
Well, and especially given that this, you know, the comedy has been a source of survival. I mean, going back to the Borscht Belt and, you know, vaudeville and before, like, why is comedy the best way that we've been able to deal with the fact that we've been exiled and canceled for so many thousands of years?
It lets you reset. It lets you. In the Talmud, it talks about comedians. It says the comedian's job is to make people who are sad happy and to cause peace when there's a riff through comedy, through laughter, by telling jokes. People get together. In my opinion, I think every session of the Knesset should begin with a 5 or 10 minute stand-up comedian.
All right, I'm going to suggest that. Not that I'm going to get any answers, but that's a great idea.
Yeah.
I wish we had more time.
I wish too.
I wish we had more time, but we've got
I'll be back. I will be back in Tel Aviv on September 12th.
We're going to be there. All right, Modi, thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Such a pleasure. And thank you all.